What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is the 10th installment of my Let's Talk About Cards series, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. Normally, about 10 episodes is really like the what you want to do to see if people are liking it, and so far, each one of the videos has gotten over like 150 views, so I'm going to go ahead and say you guys like it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what this episode is about. Alright everyone, so you might have heard of a designer right now. He's pretty popular. He's one of my favorite designers, and his name is also my name. His name is Luke Wadey, aka Luke Wadey Design on Instagram. He is really talented, and this episode may be a little controversial for you people, but here is why I think Luke Wadey is the best designer of all time. So let me explain. A few years ago, Luke Wadey started putting out some decks, and when I say some, he only started off with a couple, you know, how most people do. Now he has over 20 decks of cards out there, maybe even 30, and all his stuff is just really cool and unique. Each deck is different, and let me give you an example. So part of his grid series was kind of like I forget what it's called. It's like something to do with, I don't even remember. Okay, I'm talking about Luke Wadey. I don't even remember what his grid series is based off of. But you can see all the cards are, well, you can't see from the fan really, but like all the cards are one ways and they're really cool. And then the back is really cool. His design style is really neat. And if you look at the cards closely, it tells you all different ways to read that card is what it is, and all different types. And I think that's a really nice touch. And that's a really cool deck. So the grid series, is this the second one? Yeah, I think this is the second one. No, wait, series 1, grid. Okay, so that's the series 1. That's the first grid. So that's his first grid deck. I also have the grid 1 and 2, and they're really cool. And I will show you what the grid, or I said the grid 3 and 2. Let me show you what the grid 3 looks like. It's a little it's a little different, a little more drastic, but it's still a really awesome deck. Look at what the fronts of these cards look like. Also, if you don't want to review any of these decks that I haven't already reviewed, let me know. And they are one ways, but they're really cool. But look at the backs. Same type of style, you know, really nice and different. You know, you got a bunch of different ways to read the card, and I think that's really cool. So that's one reason why Luke Wadey is the best designer of all time. His decks are just sick. And yeah, you can say a lot of people are sick, but a lot of people keep the same design style. Wadey doesn't do that. Let me show you. Now we're gonna move on to the Mono X-Zero series. So we're just gonna take a look at one of his Mono X-Zero decks, or just the Mono decks series in whole. So this is what a Mono X-Zero decks look like. They're a lot different, much more different than the other ones. They're cool, right? And these are really more of like a modernistic, to me, like really liney, sharp edges design. And I think that's what he's going for, obviously. But it's a really nice deck, printed on Backcard Moody, not USPCC for this stock, which isn't as important. But the diversity of his designs are really cool. And you can see that just compared to some of the other decks I showed you earlier, just how good he is at designing. The faces are cool. All of them are custom. If you can see, they're just really nice, awesome cards. Even the courts, oh, I dropped it, hold on. Even the courts are completely custom, and look at that. Just really beautiful cards. And some people say Luke Wadey's design isn't for them, and that's to each their own. But he is my favorite designer. And so I will go on and continue my case. So now we're gonna take a look at the Mono Hexa series, which is his newest decks besides the Generation 1 playing cards and the Aero V2, and we will also take a look at the Aero cards as well. So this is what the Mono Hexa deck looks like. You can see it's kind of, hold on. There you go. Yeah, it's really cool. Same liney design, kind of a little bit of different. He mixed up the textures and the patterns and the color scheme. This is a really good deck, and you guys should pick one up if you haven't already. But you just kind of get the idea of his design style. Sorry, let me get these ad cards out of here. You get the idea of his design style and really like what he likes to do. And his designs and just the way he makes his cards really, really inspires me, especially with my deck, and he's been one of my great buddies and my great friends ever since, but we'll get to more of that later. We're also going to take a look at 2 more decks he's done. So let's go ahead and look at this. The Arrow V1. The V2s are releasing soon. I'm really excited for those. Wait a minute. Yeah. So look at the back design of these. Very different, you know, very, very different. And a lot of people don't like his designs, but I was that way too. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. The first time I saw Luke Wadey's designs, I thought they were hideous. I really, really did. I thought they were god-awful. And then I bought some because my friend convinced me to, and I love every single deck he's done since then. You really just have to experience the cards. You can't really just look at them like with pictures or anything. That helps, but you really, really need to experience the cards for yourselves. I was a non-believer, now I'm a believer, and these cards are great, you know? And look, take a look at some of the faces. They're very different, as you can see here. And just his design style kind of reminds me of like Swedish modern design a little bit. You can look at a court. Really, really, really nice. And so we're gonna look at one more right quick, and then I'll get into a few other reasons why I really like Mr. Wadey. The COVID deck. He did this deck specifically for COVID relief. Anybody else make a COVID deck? I don't think so. Probably because they didn't want to copy him. But this was made for COVID relief, and you can see it's still a very cool design. And quartz, custom, really nice. And I really, really like these cards as well. And you know, he's a charitable guy. He's a really nice guy. These were obviously a charity deck that I'm not sure he made too much money off of. If he did, I mean, I'm sure he made some just to cover the cost of decks, but I think maybe a little, like some of the profits went to COVID relief, which is really, really awesome of him. And I really applauded that, excuse me, not astounded, what am I saying? All right, we're gonna cut real quick, and I'll go into a few more reasons why I believe Luke Wadey. Okay, so other reasons why I believe Luke Wadey is the best designer out there. He truly, truly cares. Him, Nick Nisko, Kiergomes, like, especially Wadey though, he truly cares about every single one of the people that gets his decks and that gets his stuff, you know. If you have a problem, he's there to fix it. A lot of these bigger companies don't do that at all. Orbit is generally pretty good about it, but like Black Roses, Playing Cards, Daniel Madison, Daniel Schneider, they're really, really not great with the fans and the people. Anyone's not great about communicating with the fans, like, ever. I mean, they're okay, but they're not great. Fontaine just completely ruined their fan base in Britain or in the UK, because they won't ship cards to UK anymore. They won't sell them to them, which I think is really, really crappy. And so they lost a lot of people, you know, because of that. And I think that Mr. Wadey really takes the time to, and for me as well, takes the time with me and other people to really get to know you, make sure the things you get are the highest quality possible. If they're damaged, he'll replace it. You know, smaller card designers tend to be that way, but since then I think he's really become a bigger card designer and still kept that same energy, which is really, really rare in this community, and I really appreciate that, that he did it. And he's just an all-around great guy. He's been a great friend to me, and that's pretty much why I think he's the best designer out there. And also, his designs are epic. Some people don't like him, I do. So to each their own. Anyway, I guess we're gonna. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching this little bit of a sporadic video, but I wanted to commemorate Luke Wadey and show his accomplishments and just why I feel he is the best designer out there, my favorite designer out there by far. And I really, really love his stuff, and I hope you guys will take the chance, get one of his decks just to see if you like it, and I bet you will. I was a non-believer, now I'm a believer. With that said, all his stuff, his Instagram and Patreon will be linked down below if you want to go support him. I really suggest it. He's a great dude, great friend, and someone you can talk to for sure. Anyway, that's about all I got. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We're getting closer to 1,500 subscribers each and every day, and I couldn't be here without you guys, and I really, really appreciate all of your support. That's just awesome, and it warms my heart knowing more and more people get to see my content, and I get to put smiles on people's faces. So that's about it. Also, make sure to comment if you want to see something in a video. I do most of my recommendations. Leave a like, that always helps the algorithm. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I'm the Wooden Cardist, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.